Hello, everyone. Good evening. So today is a very special day. It's a after the Dashera was over. Today it's Lakshmi Puja day. So we celebrate. This is a Purnima, and then we celebrate Lakshmi Puja on this a special day. That's a very auspicious day for all of us. So first of all, I'd like to wish you. I hope that you had a fantastic Dashera festival, and the entire Navratri festival also went very happily in a very enjoying atmosphere for all of you. So with that, we are here to start today's live session. So friends, my name is Dhritiman Chakrabarti. I like working with people who want to grow in their career. This is something which is my area of interest, and I love talking about topics which impacts the growth in our career. As I mentioned, last week we actually covered one particular very important aspect of growing in our career, which is related to the skills of employability. What are the skills which are necessary to remain employable and to increase the chances of growing in our career? Last week, we talked about part one of it, and today we'll be talking about the second part, which is also the concluding part. The reason we are doing it in two separate sessions is because this subject is very vast, and if you have to do justice, that we need to give some time. Now, as we have done in the previous two sessions, today's session also will be covering in dual language, that is in English and in Hindi. Okay, so उसी के साथ हम लोग शुरू करने वाले हैं आज का सेशन. Now, if I just take you to what exactly we talked about related to employability skills and how to develop them. So that's what we are going to cover today. So in the first session, we covered 5 skills. We looked into the definition of employability skill, and then we also looked into 5 essential skills. So we said that we'll be talking about 10 essential skills. So today we are going to cover the balance 5 important most critical employability skills. उसमें से 5 हम लोगों ने ऑलरेडी कवर कर लिया था लास्ट वीक को, तो ये वीक हम लोग बाकी 5 स्किल्स कवर करेंगे, एंड उसके साथ हम लोग ये भी टच करेंगे कि इफ यू हैव टू डेवलप दिस एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी स्किल्स, आपको क्या क्या स्टेप्स लेना है. सो ऑन द स्टेप्स वी विल अगेन टॉक अबाउट 3 very important steps that you are supposed to take to develop your employability skills. As always, if you have any comments to share, feel free to do so during the live session, or if you are watching a recorded session, then you can also put your comments in the comment section, and I will ensure that I attend to your comments and I give a response to your comments. So we are right now going live both on Facebook as well as YouTube. So you can catch me either of these platforms. And whatever your live comments will be, I'll be showcasing here. Fine. So with that, let's go ahead with. So now before going ahead, let me just touch upon the 5 skills that we talked about in the last session. So what were those skills? The first one we talked is regarding the communication skills. We also give in a description why communication skill is so very important employability skill. Then we talked about the skill of adaptability. Then the third skill we talked about is the skill of problem solving. Fourth one is related to collaboration, and the fifth one we talked about is organization skill. So today we will be covering the 5 more critical employability skills, and we will also cover some tips about how to develop these 10 employability skills. So let's jump into the sixth one, the sixth skill. So the sixth skill, which is a part of employability skill, is known as emotional competence. Now, emotional competence क्या है? आप लोगों को you might have learned about one particular term. हम लोग इसको बहुत commonly बोलते आते हैं कि emotional intelligence. Now, emotional competence is same as emotional intelligence or emotional quotient or EQ. All of you are already aware of that. Nowadays we not only give importance to IQ, but we give more importance to the EQ part of it. All organizations do understand that emotional part बहुत ज़्यादा important होता है in performing your best at your workplace. Emotionally, how stable you are, emotionally, how strong you are will determine your capability to give your best to your work. Right? So, some of the questions that you can look into जब हम लोग emotional competence के बारे में बात करते हैं कि do you extend your listening ear to a colleague who is upset? Workplace में you might be coming across ऐसे colleague आपको मिलते होंगे जो थोड़ा सा down है. Emotionally, on a particular day, that colleague of yours is feeling a little bit down. So at those times, आप क्या उनके पास जाते हो, उनको सुनने का कोशिश करते हो कि आप में वो इमोशनल पार्ट एक्टिव है एट वर्क प्लेस, या ऐसा होता है कि जब आप वर्क प्लेस में जाते हो, चलो वर्क प्लेस में इमोशन की क्या जरूरत है, उसको घर में छोड़ के जाते हैं. So what type of person you are at workplace, how active you are emotionally. So that is one thing that you need to look into to assess your emotional competence. The second thing that you can also check is how do you find yourself emotionally when you hear a demotivating news at the workplace. किसी ने आके कुछ बोल दिया कि ऐसा कुछ हुआ है, which is very very demotivating. Something that you were expecting to happen in the organization, उसका negative हुआ, वो हुआ नहीं है. So उस केस में आप कैसा फील करते हो इमोशनली? जस्ट ऑब्जर्व योरसेल्फ. आप अपने आप को अगर देखते हो तो आप किस तरह से फील करते हो उस टाइम में. सो दैट टॉक्स अबाउट योर इमोशनल कैपेबिलिटी. या सो योगेश जी, हाय, हाउ आर यू? मंडे फैटिक, यस. सो मंडे फैटिक बहुत लोगों को होता है कि सैटरडे संडे वीकेंड था, वीकेंड क्रॉस करके ऑफिस में आए एंड देन मंडे को काम करने का मूड में नहीं है, हम मूड में नहीं है काम करने का. राइट? योर इमोशंस आर इनटू डिफरेंट थिंग्स एट दैट टाइम. सो दैट कैन आल्सो हैपन विद मेनी पीपल. Nowadays, in fact, organizations are actually giving a lot of training to people to come out of this kind of thought process. Monday blues बोलते हैं, Monday fatigue बोलते हैं कि चलो अभी नया वीक चालू होने वाला है, सो मेरे को वो पूरा एनर्जी चाहिए. Some people it works differently. Some people say that okay, Mondays are so very exciting, and that's what organizations nowadays are trying to make a change in people's mindset, so as to change their mindset to say that yes, Mondays I'm very much excited because I'll be getting an opportunity to work. Another thing that you can look at in terms of assessing कि आपका इमोशनल क्वोशंट कैसा है, आपका इमोशनल कॉम्पिटेंस कैसा है. एंड फॉर ए मैनेजर, फॉर ए सुपरवाइजर, इट वुड पॉसिबली मीन whether you are encouraging flexibility in people or not in decision making and embracing change. For example, कोई भी डिसीजन लेने के टाइम में आप क्या ये बोलते हो कि चलो ये मेरा डिसीजन है और ये ही फाइनल है, इसके आगे मैं और कुछ सुनना नहीं चाहती, जो भी है. Or you are allowing others to share their thoughts, allowing others to share their viewpoint as well. Are you flexible enough as a manager? So when you are giving opportunity to other people to share their thoughts, their opinions, they feel good, and that feel good is associated with emotional compatibility, with emotional competence. How you are embracing change as a supervisor, as a manager. When change happens, how do you react to that? क्या आप गुस्सा हो जाते हो चेंज होने से, या आप उसको पॉजिटिवली एक्सेप्ट करते हो? आप ये सोचते हो कि चलो देखते हैं क्या होता है इस चेंज में, क्या छुपा है इस चेंज में, इसको जानने की कोशिश करते हो. So how your emotions do play when a change happens. So all of these things will decide your emotional competence. Why it is important for you, and why it is an important employability skill? Because organizations do observe their team members, their employees, कि इन लोगों का emotional compatibility, emotional competence कैसा है. And depending on that, possibly they will be thinking कि इनको कौन से type of job में he will be or she will be fitting into, because his or her emotional competence is at particular level. So this, therefore, is a very, very important competency, specifically for people who wants to become managers, who wants to become leaders in an organization. More and more you go higher up the ladder, more and more it becomes important that आपके जो इमोशनल कॉम्पिटेंस है वो बहुत ज्यादा रोल प्ले करता है जैसे ही आप ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल हायरार्की लैडर में ऊपर जाते हो, right? So that's why this is important. The seventh one, the seventh skill is again very, very basic skill. आप सबको मालूम है कि ये important है. Question is important जानने के बाद क्या हम लोग कुछ करते हैं इसके बारे में? Time management. Oh yes, time management is important. Now you can ask a few questions to yourself to check कि आप time management में कैसे हो. क्या आपको frequently ऐसा feel होता है कि exhaustion हो जाता है at the end of the day? अरे बाप रे बहुत काम कर लिया, पूरा tired feel हो रहा है. क्या आपको इस तरह का feeling आता है? Do you again feel that you are overburdened, and frequently you feel, every now and then you feel कि बहुत ज्यादा काम है, बहुत ज्यादा overburdened है, मेरे से नहीं हो रहा इतना करना? Do you have that kind of a feeling? If you have that kind of a feeling, then something that you are going through is obviously related to time management issue. Understand one thing, that everybody have got same amount of time given to them by nature, right? किसी के पास 24 घंटे से ज्यादा टाइम नहीं है. Having said that, yes, there are some people who are really, really overburdened in a corporate environment. Now, for those people, they need to think something. If they have already taken so many initiatives, अगर वो अपने तरफ से बहुत सारे स्टेप ऑलरेडी ले चुके हैं अपने आप को ऑर्गेनाइज करने के लिए, अपने आप को एक्टिविटीज को प्रायोरिटाइज करने के लिए, मैनेजमेंट के साथ बात कर चुके हैं, बट फिर भी बात नहीं बन रहा है, वेल इट मे बी अ टाइम wherein this particular employee will have to think that am I at the right place, because at the end of the day if something is impacting their health, their emotional health, their physical health, their mental health, then I think they need to give it a very, very serious thinking. Am I at the right place, right? Now, how do you know that if you're able to manage your time better? Well, what are the signs? If you are managing your time better, then it would mean that you are able to prioritize activities. You are able to say, you are able to decide that activity number 1 मेरे लिए ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है compared to activity number 2 and 3. And accordingly, you are able to take a decision, instead of doing activity number 2 and 3 first, let me do activity number 1. तो आप अगर इस तरह से प्रायोरिटाइज कर पा रहे हो, इसका मतलब है आप टाइम मैनेजमेंट अच्छी तरह से कर पा रहे हो रिगार्डिंग योर वर्क. And it also means that you are working efficiently and you are productive for the organization. The productivity का meaning is simple terms कि आप in a given amount of time, what quantity, how much activity you could able to do, and is there an improvement in that activity that you can do with the same given amount of time over a period of time, right? So that's the seventh employability skill, which is again very, very important. The way you manage time will help organization. The better you manage your time, the better opportunities will come in your way, because the organization will see that this person have the quality of managing his or her time better. He or she can prioritize activities. He or she knows the importance of critical activity, urgent activity, and important activity. And thereby, we can trust this person with some very critical, important project for the organization, which will pave the way for this person's growth in career. So that's why this is very, very important. The next one is known as being technology savvy. It means that you are aware of the technology that are used at your workplace. You are competent enough to use the latest technology in your job role, in your work area. So that point also becomes important. So you can ask a few questions to yourself to check कि आप टेक savvy हो कि नहीं. For example, आपको क्या यह फील होता है कि you know the technology little bit better compared to your other colleagues in the organization. आपको टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में थोड़ा अच्छा आइडिया है, कि आपको ऐसा फील होता है. Then also you can check that do you know the latest technologies that can help in your future career, which means that अगर आप लेवल करंट लेवल से नेक्स्ट लेवल तक जाना चाहते हो, एंड नेक्स्ट लेवल के लिए जो भी टेक्नोलॉजिकल नॉलेज इज रिक्वायर्ड, डू यू फील दैट यू हैव दैट level of technological knowledge with you? So when you ask these questions, you will be able to see that what is your level, your status as far as being technology savvy in your workplace. What happens when you're technology savvy? What happens when you know the latest technology that can be used at your workplace? How it helps is obviously it helps you becoming more productive, and because of that it gives you future opportunities. How it makes you more productive? Because an activity which your other colleagues can complete in 2 hours time, because you know the technology better, possibly you can do that activity in 30 minutes. The very common example for this is in a corporate environment we have to work on MS Excel. एंड MS एक्सेल में बहुत लोगों को बहुत उसमें एडवांस नॉलेज है, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट एडवांस नॉलेज दे कैन डू अ पर्टिकुलर कैलकुलेशन और एक्टिविटी इन MS एक्सेल in a very very short span of time, maybe in half an hour, जो बाकी लोगों के लिए 2 घंटा 3 घंटा लग सकता है. And that way you can do more activities within the same amount of time. That means you are more productive for the organization compared to another employee in the organization. And because of that, you possibly will be getting better opportunities for career growth in your organization. In today's world, खास करके being technology savvy बहुत ज़्यादा important हो चुका है. यहाँ पे आप ऐसा नहीं बोल सकते हो कि मेरे को तो कंप्यूटर आता है. खाली कंप्यूटर आने का मतलब ये नहीं है कि you are technology savvy. Do you know the latest technology that are being utilized at your workplace? Do you know what the other companies are using in your industry? And if you don't know it, बिलीव मी, कल को कोई भी नया लड़का मार्केट से आके आपको रिप्लेस कर सकता है इजीली, बिकॉज दिस न्यू पर्सन इज कमिंग विथ न्यू नॉलेज फ्रॉम द मार्केट एंड इज मोर टेक्नोलॉजी savvy compared to you. So you need to be ready for that competition, which may anytime come and hit you. So that's again one of the very important employability skills. The next one in line is called reliability. भरोसा, क्या हम आपके ऊपर भरोसा कर सकते हैं in the organization? What is the meaning of that reliability? What is the meaning of that varosa? Some of the questions that may check the reliability aspect. Question is, do you always live up to your commitments? आप जब किसी को बोलते हो कि ये एक्टिविटी 2 दिन में हो जाएगा, आप किसी को अगर अपना मतलब कमिटमेंट देते हो, क्या आप वो कमिटमेंट रखते हो? So that question becomes very, very important, because if there are a series of events, it doesn't happen only from one particular situation. If there are a series of events wherein you have given time to somebody and you have not kept that promise, if that is the situation, then that is going to hit your reliability score in the organization. तो इसीलिए ये खास करके बोला जाता है कि बिफोर गिविंग कमिटमेंट टू समबडी आप 2 बार सोच लीजिए, विल यू बी एबल टू मीट दैट कमिटमेंट? अगर यू कैन मीट दैट कमिटमेंट, very good. If not, then it is going to impact your reliability score, which is again very important employability skill. So the question is, do you make an effort? Do you at least make an effort to finish the task even if it takes some extra time? बहुत सारा टाइम ऐसा होता है at your workplace that there is a very important activity and you have told somebody that by the end of the day I'll be completing this activity, but that end of the day becomes after office hours. उस टाइम में आप क्या डिसीजन लेते हो कि चलो कोई बात नहीं कल करेंगे, या let me stay back and complete this activity and go? So what do you do? Ask that question to yourself to check your reliability score. Another thing that you should ask as a reliability checkpoint is, do you support your colleagues at times of need? Because reliability not only from your manager, from the leadership team in your organization, but reliability also measured with respect to your colleagues, your teammates, whether they can rely on you. If they need a helping hand, कभी अगर उन लोगों को कुछ प्रॉब्लम आया, क्या वो आपके ऊपर भरोसा कर सकते हैं that you can come forward and going to help them? If you are that person who is always coming forward and helping somebody else who is in need, well, when I say always, you also need to assess it from a possibility point of view. It should not impact your own work, right? So wherever it is possible, are you ready to extend your support to somebody? Are there instances when other people say that, yes, this person always comes forward and helps me? When you do that, you become reliable in the eyes of your peers, your colleagues. And as a result, what happens? Your respect in the organization grows. And that in turn also helps you with career growth opportunity in the organization. There can be situations where an organization wants to get into a very, very confidential project, right? Very, very sensitive project. In those cases, organization will look out for people that it can trust, that it can rely upon. And those will be the situations wherein you will be remembered as a person who can be relied upon. So therefore, it is a very important employability skill that you need to develop. The 10th skill, which comes in line in the same list of essential employability skill, is known as your willingness to learn. Are you willing to learn new things and contribute better to your work? Are you a person who thinks that I learned enough और नया कुछ सीखने का उम्र नहीं है, टाइम चला गया, मुझे सीखने का जरूरत नहीं, I know everything? Or you are a person who always think that there is a scope of improvement, there is an opportunity of learning something new and contribute better to my job. So the question to ask, are you learning new skills regularly in a planned manner? Is there a planned manner in which you are learning new skills? For example, every year, beginning of the year, you plan that ये साल मुझे ये 3 skills सीखना है. And over the next 12 months, you actually make a plan that in the next 4 months I'll be learning this skill, subsequent 4 months I'll be learning another skill, and then I'll be learning another skill? Do you do it in a planned manner? If you do it in a planned manner, you are a very good learner. And if you're a very good learner, it means that for an organization, you are an asset because you are keeping yourself updated with all the new things that are happening within the organization, in the industry, outside the organization also. Therefore, you can be a very, very important asset for the organization who can contribute for the future growth of the organization. And that in turn improves your employability score in the organization. So your leadership team will be thinking about you when there is an opportunity that comes wherein somebody will have to learn and then deliver the result. They will think about you because they see that you are always trying to learn and keeping yourself updated. So instead of giving that responsibility to somebody else who is not ready to learn new things, वो सोचेंगे कि आपको ये काम दिया जाए बिकॉज आप नए चीजों से डरते नहीं हो, आप हमेशा रेडी रहते हो नए चीजों को सीखना एंड उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करना आपके काम में. सो देयर बाय इट हेल्प्स डेवलपिंग योर employability score in the organization. So friends, those are the 10 very essential employability skills जो आपको डेवलप करना है to increase your employability score, जिसका मतलब है to stay employable not only in your current organization, in the current position, but getting a new opportunity in your current organization or outside your organization. So I hope you understand the seriousness and criticality of these very essential skills and we'll be doing something to develop them. Now quickly हम लोग 3 steps देखेंगे कि आपको क्या करना चाहिए, what you should do to develop these employability skills and become more employable for your current job, for your future career growth within the organization and outside the organization. So how to develop these skills? Now I'm not going to give you a very big concept, very simple 3 steps that I'll be talking about. The first step, which is obvious, we call it simply practice, practice, practice. So more you practice these skills, the more you will become master of these skills. And that practice, the way you can do, one particular tip that I'd like to give you is keep this list handy at your workplace. You can take a printout and put it on your work desk so as to remind you on a daily basis कि आपको ये 10 skill develop करने हैं, and you can also assess against which particular skill what has been your performance. So that one thing that you can do which will help you to regularly work on shining on these skills, to developing these skills continuously. The second thing that you can do is to volunteer for a challenging project. Now ये सिंगल सा जो स्टेप है, इसी में बहुत सारे बेनिफिट्स छुपे हुए हैं. जब आप कोई भी चैलेंजिंग प्रोजेक्ट के लिए आप अपना नाम देते हो और उसमें पार्टिसिपेट करते हो, that particular challenging project itself will be able to teach you so many skills. ऐसे प्रोजेक्ट जहां पे आपको एक टीम के साथ काम करना हो, सो आपका कम्युनिकेशन स्किल, आपका ऑर्गेनाइजिंग स्किल, योर टाइम मैनेजमेंट स्किल, योर ability to work under pressure, the reliability score, etc., everything will get tested. So this is a great opportunity कि कभी भी आपको वैसा मौका मिलता है आपके जॉब में, आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, कि जहां पे एक चैलेंजिंग प्रोजेक्ट में आपको पार्टिसिपेट करने का मौका मिले, grab it. Sometimes people might not ask you. Sometimes you have to ask others that can I be a part of this project? I also want to contribute in this project. And that way, it will give you an opportunity to hone all these skills, to develop all these employability skills. So, as I said, one particular project can teach you multiple skills. The third thing, if you have already done these two things, and if you want to actually develop this, try to find a mentor who can help you, who can guide you, who can hold your hand towards developing these skills and thereby help you grow in your career. So, setting the right accountability with periodic review, and that is something that this particular mentor can help you with. Again, this is very, very important. So, friends, those are the three essential steps. Number one, we said that you need to practice regularly, and for that, you can keep this list handy at your workplace so as to remind you on a daily basis. The second thing we said is you should volunteer for a challenging project in your organization, which itself will give you the opportunity to improve many of these employability skills in your organization. And the third thing is you can find a mentor for developing these skills and help you grow in your career. Now, we have come to the end of this topic on developing your employability skills. So, in last session and it's today's session, we covered 10 employability skills. We also talked about some tips how you can develop these employability skills. Now, I was also mentioning in my post that we'll be talking about one opportunity, and Deepavali is around the corner, right? So, on occasion of Deepavali, we are planning something which will give you an opportunity to grow in your career. So, what is that opportunity that you are talking about here? Let me share. And in case if you have a long-term career goal and you want to seriously achieve that goal, then it is very important कि आप उसका ओनरशिप भी लेते हो और उसके ऊपर काम करते हो, तभी आपका करियर में ग्रोथ होएगा. खाली बोलने से करियर में ग्रोथ नहीं होता, ये आपको भी मालूम है. उसके लिए आपको कुछ करना पड़ेगा, राइट? टू डेवलप योर स्किल्स and constantly work on reaching to that career goal that you do have. So for that, there is a opportunity that I'm going to share with all of you. I'll be conducting a 1-month free coaching session on achieving your career growth. So there'll be 4 sessions that will happen within a span of 1 month, 1 session per week. In this session, depending on your career goal, we'll be covering topics related to your career interest and the skills that you want to develop, which will take you closer to your career goal. So in case you have certain specific career goals and you are very, very serious to achieve them, let's work together for this experiential journey of 1 month of how a career coaching can help you to achieve your career goals. So this is the opportunity that I also wanted to share with all of you on occasion of Deepavali festival. This free career coaching will be happening in the month of November. So as soon as I finish this session, I'll be sharing you one Google form in the comment section. So in case you are interested, fill that Google sheet. And after that, if you're shortlisted, I'll let you know. And I'll be inviting you to that 1 month free career coaching session. So friends, that's all I wanted to share today. In case you have any comments, any opinions regarding this employability skills session, feel free to put your comments on the comment section. I'll be looking forward to read about your opinions, your comments on this particular topic. And also, in case you are interested to be a part of this free career coaching session, then the Google form that I'll be sharing, please fill it up. In case you think that somebody else can get benefited out of it, please share this Google link with your friends and other colleagues who can get benefited. So with that, we are ending today's session. Thanks a lot for being here. Thanks a lot for showing your presence, and have a great rest of the evening. Have a great week ahead. Thank you.